This is working? It's working? Y'all can hear me? Okay. All right, we're back to talking about manure, right? Yeah, so the manure gets in your body. And we call it constipation because it's in your bowels. Now, we know that what comes out as a bowel movement is food waste. But 4 times more waste comes out through your kidneys. You pass out more waste through your kidneys than through your bowels. So, manure in your body, we call that constipation. That's when you eat your cake and keep it too. You know what I mean? Now, you got the manure in your body, so the manure is occupying space in each cell. Where there should be air and nutrients in the cell, there's waste. So the cell is not as lively as it should be. So it's like fatigue. It's carrying more waste, not more nutrients and oxygen. Now the waste is fermenting. If you've seen someone make wine, it bubbles and ferments and makes this gas. So now it's bubbling and fermenting in your body and making gas, which we call in medicine flatulence, which they call in the street a fart, you know. So now you're farting. Now the manure is getting all in your blood and in your pores and your skin's getting puffy. Now it's coming out through your skin and you're calling it acne and pimples, which is manure, because we changed the name based on the location so we can change the specialty, so we can change the prescription, so we can keep the change out of your pocket and keep the change in my pocket. Good hustle. Now you got so much manure in your body, you feel nauseous. You feel a little uneasy, a little queasy, as they say. Now you're getting dizzy because you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain. I mean, you got manure all in the place. The manure is in your blood, it's floating up to your brain. Now you're getting dizzy. We already know about the coated tongue. That's what you call tartar. When the manure is in your mouth, it's tartar. When the manure is in your veins, it's varicose. When the manure gets in your gums and between your teeth, we call that arthritis of the mouth, but we don't say that because you may figure that one out, so we call that pyorrhea. Pyorrhea is arthritis of the mouth. So we change the name based on the location. And each time we don't treat the disease, we change the name. If I don't treat your cold and it gets worse, we say pneumonia. If I don't treat the pneumonia and it gets worse, we call it bronchitis. If I don't, every time the disease gets worse, we change the name. Because if we change the name, we change the prescription, change the specialty, keep the change out of your pocket, keep the change in my pocket. It's a beautiful con game. Nonetheless, the manure is coming out through your skin and it's acid, so it makes your skin itch. Okay, we just call it itchy. Of course, we already know about the breath. I mean, you breathe and the whole funeral turns down the alley just to get the hell away from you. Bad taste in your mouth. Now your body's full of oil, which we call cholesterol and triglycerides, because the oil is trying to make the manure slippery so it can move out the body. So the body's making more cholesterol so we can slip this manure out. Oh, this is all just the way the manure is going, and every time it goes someplace, I change the name. Now, when you get these diseases from manure, we ain't going to say it's manure because you may figure it out. You say, well, maybe I ought to stop eating the stuff that's making me constipated. So you'll figure that one out. So we just say, oh, it's acne. But manure collects in little lumps under your arms. We call them nodes. We say, oh, you got swollen glands. It collects around your jaw. We say, oh, you got mumps. You see, the manure is just collecting all around, and we just change the name. So you're getting all these diseases. The manure coming out of your skin, causing your skin to be inflamed and itchy, and we call it psoriasis, eczema. So we have all these different names for these diseases of someone who just doesn't know what the heck is going on, other than the fact they're being hustled. I don't think you're ready for this, but I'll just put it up there. Religious feelings in man may be destroyed if too expensive an operation to perform on the frontal lobes. Unfortunately, they perform that operation with chemicals these days, mostly mercury. Give you a high mercury content, you lose your ability to be spiritual. The first test on that was done in 1932. Instead of telling you that was what it was, they said it was syphilis something in Alabama. The research data says that men were given mercury and arsenic. That's what they were given. That's what it was about. They had a chemical reaction, but they called it syphilis, and you went for the hype again. It's very hard to explain things sometimes. What makes it so very hard is the Europeans have a lot of myths and superstitions that they put into medicine. And so when we use a myth and superstition in medicine or science, we don't say it's a myth and a superstition. We say it's a theory. And so you missed the whole point again. The whole point. Look at here. They tell you, this is a European myth, never been proven. In order to make muscle, you have to eat muscle. That's what they tell you. So people go around eating muscle meat of a cow or a chicken or a pig. They say, if I want to make muscle, I got to eat muscle. So they're eating this muscle. You don't make muscle with protein, you make muscle with carbohydrates. If you want to build muscle, you better eat carbohydrates. But it's a myth of the Europeans, it's a belief, a superstition that if you want to be bold and fearless, you eat the heart of a tiger. That's why they eat the heart of a tiger. I mean, this is going into their belief system. If you want to be fertile and be viral, then you eat an unborn chicken. You eat an egg. It comes out of their myth. There's no reason to eat an egg. You know, but they believe that this is going to make them more, you know, viral or something. They also have some other ones we'll go through. Now, the fetus position is the position in which the child is carried in the mother's womb, as the Europeans call it. Actually, the child is carried in the mother's uterus, and the child is attached to the placenta. The Europeans call the woman's vagina a womb because they believe that her penis was cut off. Somebody cut off her dick, so therefore she's wounded. And then y'all go around repeating this stupid stuff. The woman doesn't have a womb, she has a uterus. Please. Anyway, it's just so many things. Now, we have the fetus position, and then the body elongates. Where's my black pen? Yes. This is the fetus position of birth, which looks like your ear upside downwards. And then the body elongates like that. But each part of the body is still connected to its original position, and that's where you get these melanin highways called acupuncture meridians. The body lays out the blueprint for the growth of the development of the bones, the nerves, and the tissue. And that's laid out by something called melanin. Melanin is what makes your skin black and all that sort of thing. That's laid out first. And then the nerves know how to grow, then the bones know how to grow, and then the muscles know how to grow. And since melanin is blue, if you want to make something real in life, first you make a blueprint. That's based on the study of melanin. That's why they make blueprints. So the melanin lays out the blueprint of the body. And that's why the body knows where the hell to grow and how to grow. And we call those acupuncture meridians because the Chinese are racist and they don't want to tell you melanin is what's going on. Then you have this intersection of highways, which the Indian people call chakras. Those are melanin clusters because the Indian people are racist and they don't want to tell you what's going on. But nonetheless, let's move on here. I better put things over here so I can move quicker. I want to show you why black men have a lot of prostate problems. You know, they can get an erection, but pretty soon that old dick's going to die. Probably because they're, look here. The reproductive organ has a high amount of melanin in it. And as I showed you before, because of the melanin, it's going to attract chemicals to it at a higher rate. Caffeine, nicotine, codeine, aspirin, Tylenol, Prozac, all that's going to be gravitating to the penis. Because where I have it shaded here, that's a high degree of melanin in the reproductive system of the black man. So if you're drinking bleach and sugar, which is the chemical composition of malt liquor, it's going to have a high affinity for your prostate and the penis. But for some reason, the Europeans taught black people that the penis is a reproductive organ. The penis has nothing to do with reproductive. It's a tube, you know. Oh boy, that's going to take me too long to explain that. No, that's going to take too long. Look at here. The penis gets erect so it can carry the vibrations made by the vagina. The vagina vibrates and makes colors and makes music, and the vibration of the vagina, the muscles contracting, vibrate it up the shaft of the penis and go up to the prostate gland and tune the sperm. That's why the vagina vibrates. That's why the penis gets erect. You're missing the whole point. Because you've been educated about your own sex organs by some cave people. I mean, you really think the Europeans know what the hell they're talking about? I mean, you really respect them. You say, these people know what they're talking about. By golly, they talk properly and everything, and they know what they're talking about, hot damn. I mean, no, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm telling you, they don't know what they're talking about, especially when it comes to somebody black. And they know what they're talking about when it comes to each other. But when it comes to you, you better listen to someone black. You're on the wrong station. Now, this organ is controlled by melanin. The whole way of birth, the whole process is a melanin clustering event. The sperm just transports the melanin crystal. And once the melanin crystal gets inside of the egg, the vibratory force of the egg creates an aura, and that aura is what we call conception. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. It's a bad news fly. Well, it's a black fly, I won't kill it, but I wish the brother would go someplace else. In any case, because you have this high concentration of melanin in the system, this is what we call the prostate disease here. Now, prostate disease, the warning symptoms are cramp or stiffness in the pelvic girdle, back pain, you pee and then you still have some dripping after you stop peeing. You may have a little pain after ejaculation. Oh, there's so many different symptoms here. The most of the time, them brothers don't think about prostate problem unless they can't have erection. They have a John Wayne idea about the reproductive system, you know. As long as it doesn't fall off, they use it, you know. But the problem is that the prostate is located just below the bladder, and it gets inflamed and swells up, and it chokes